You think you know the NBA. All the big names, the big plays. Well, behind those highlight reels are stories so strange, so unbelievable, they honestly sound made up. Today, we're going to dive into some of the absolute wildest facts in the history of the game. Okay, so picture this. It's the 2003 NBA draft. The New Jersey Nets picked this kid from Creighton, a lights-out shooter named Kyle Korver. But turns out they didn't really want him. They traded him on the spot to the Philadelphia 76ers. So you're probably thinking, what did they get back for a guy who would become an all-star and one of the best three-point shooters ever? Well, you're not going to believe it. I'm not kidding. They got some cash, which they used to pay their summer league fees, and they used the rest to buy a copy machine. They literally, and I mean literally, traded a future legend for office supplies. So yeah, next time you see an old clip of Korver draining three, just remember, his NBA journey started with a trade for Xerox. A player getting traded for a copy machine is pretty out there. But sometimes the numbers on the court are even weirder. So let's get into some mind-bending stats that they just don't make any sense. When you think of LeBron James, what comes to mind? For me, it's just unbelievable consistency. And for his entire career, his averages have been right around these numbers: 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. It's like the perfect, quintessential LeBron game. So here's the question for you. He's played over 1,600 games, both regular season and playoffs. His whole career is built on that average. So how many times do you think he's finished a game with exactly 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists? Like 10 times? Maybe 20? Get ready for this. The answer is 0. Zilch. Not once. In a career that is literally the definition of 27-7-7, he has never actually had a 27-7-7 game. It just goes to show you how averages can tell one story, while the reality of each game is something else entirely. Wild. Okay, so as weird as that LeBron stat is, this next one, this might just be the most statistically impossible thing in the history of the league. Seriously. I want to introduce you to a role player from the early 2000s named Eddie Robinson. So Eddie played for the Chicago Bulls, and for them, he scored a total of 969 points and grabbed 382 rebounds. Then, he moved on to the Charlotte Hornets, and with the Hornets, he scored, you guessed it, exactly 969 points, and he grabbed, you got it, exactly 382 rebounds. The exact same totals for 2 different teams. I mean, what are the odds? It's like a glitch in the Matrix. And speaking of unbelievable numbers, let's talk pure dominance. In March of 2007, Kobe Bryant just went nuclear. Over 7 days, he dropped 50-plus points in 4 straight games. To put that into perspective for you, that one single week gave Kobe more 50-point games than a legend like Dwayne Wade had in his entire career. Just unbelievable. The weirdness isn't just about stats, though. The stories off the court can be even crazier. We're talking about eerie premonitions, bizarre accidents, things that show you this is way more than just a game. This next one is honestly chilling. In 1974, the legendary Pistol Pete Maravich, one of the most creative players ever, gave this interview. He was only 26, and he made this very specific, kind of off-the-cuff comment. And unbelievably, his life followed that script exactly. He retired in 1980 after a 10-year career. Then, in 1988, while playing a pickup basketball game, Pete Maravich collapsed. He died of a heart attack. He was 40 years old. It's a tragic and just haunting prediction that came true. Now, fate isn't always that heavy. Sometimes it's just bizarre. This is the story of B.J. Tyler, a promising point guard for the Raptors. One day after practice, he did what thousands of players do. He iced his ankles, but he accidentally fell asleep with the ice on. That long exposure to the cold caused such severe nerve damage that his career was over just like that. And then you have Randy Foye. He had a solid 11-year career in the NBA, but he played that whole time with an incredible secret. He has a rare condition called situs inversus. What does that mean? It means all of his major organs are flipped, like a mirror image. His heart is on the right side of his body. His liver is on the left. It's absolutely amazing he was able to compete at that level. How is this for a cosmic coincidence? On the 2015-16 Dallas Mavericks, they had 3 point guards: Deron Williams, J.J. Barea, and Raymond Felton. What's so crazy about that? Well, all three of them were born on the exact same day, June 26th, 1984. A single team with three guys at the same position, all sharing the same birthday. The odds are just astronomical.
All right, so to compete at the highest level, you need skill, for sure. But for some guys, they also need their superstitions. Let's look at some of the wildest pregame rituals that players have sworn by.
Jason the Jet Terry might just be the king of superstition. He had a whole list of things he had to do. Eating chicken before every game was won. But the weirdest one? The night before a game, he would sleep in the game shorts of the team he was about to play. Can you imagine packing for a road trip? Okay, gotta pack shorts for the Lakers, the Clippers, the Warriors. And what about Manute Bol? At 7'7", he was one of the tallest players ever, but he was also super skinny. To try and put on weight, what did he do? Well, the story goes he would drink beer. Some teammates even said he never played a game completely sober. Which, if true, makes the fact that he once hit 6 three-pointers in a single half even more incredible. Now, the weirdness doesn't just come from the players. Oh, no. Sometimes it's written right into the NBA's own rules and history books. This is when the system itself gets really strange. Okay, try to wrap your head around this one. In 2012, Tyson Chandler wins the Defensive Player of the Year award. So, by definition, he is the best defender in the entire league. But when they announced the all-defensive first team, the top 5 defenders, he wasn't on it. How was that possible? Well, it was because 2 different groups voted on the awards, and it created this bizarre loophole. They had to fix the system after that. Can you even imagine the modern NBA with this rule? Back in the early days, every time a team scored a basket, the game would stop, and both teams would have to go back to center court for a jump ball. It would make the game so slow. Fast breaks wouldn't even exist. It's a totally different sport. And now for the grand finale. This is an all-timer. It's a single, unbelievable thread that connects almost 4 decades of NBA champions. So what is the one thing that every single NBA title winner from 1984 all the way to 2021 had in common? The answer is Shaquille O'Neal. That's right. For 38 straight years, every single team that won the championship had at least one player who had at some point been a teammate of Shaq's. It's been called the 6 Degrees of Shaq, and it's just a wild testament to how long he played and how many lives he impacted. And for one last little nugget to leave you with, you know Twitter's original Bluebird logo? Well, its internal name was Larry the Bird, in honor of the Celtics legend Larry Bird. It just shows you the NBA's influence pops up in the most unexpected places. It really makes you wonder, right? What other wild connections and hidden stories are still out there?